So this is super weird. Trying to record myself, start a YouTube channel, I guess. My name's Ethan. I don't know, just always wanted to sort of try this. It's much weirder talking into a camera than I thought it would be. I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes trying to figure out what to say and what to do, but yeah, see what happens. I'm gonna do a lot of car shit. I'm gonna be working on my car today. This is the first one. My 1989 NF Pajero BMW. It's currently on 33-inch muddies. It's the 6G72 V6. It's got a Gen 2 ARB bar and a big light bar held on by zip ties. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, so it's just a bit of a project, you know. Yuck, door. But yeah, it's just something with no good paint that I can sort of not worry about when I four-wheel drive. Yeah, so I guess we'll get straight into it and start doing some shit. So I've got a couple of things for it. Don't mind the mess. I got just some cheapo brake pads for the front and some sway bar link bushes. Try and get it roadworthy. I'm just going to put it on Victorian Club Reg. I'll do that, and I've got some 31s for it to pass roadworthy. Yeah, I guess I'll just do bit by bit, play it by ear. Yeah. So a couple of things I know I need for it to pass a roadworthy is these need, well, I need shorter shocks. It's had some sort of lift in it at some point. I'm not sure what size, but yeah, the springs don't stay in at full droop, so I need something to shorten the shocks. It is torsion front end, which I think is just a factory torsion bar just wound up so it can fit the 33s. It's independent front, solid rear, as you saw. Weird as being coil rear and torsion front. Odd setup that is, but you know, see how it goes. It rides fairly rough in the front, but it's got suspension seats in it. Yeah. Few little things here and there. Here are those bushes that I want to change. Those ones there, top and bottom, both sides on the sway bar links. Front brakes, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, it's fairly dark, so I'll change them over. Yeah, I'll change them over. Might give it a bit of a grease, see what happens. So that's full droop at the rear. Like, it's a fairly decent amount, and at the front it sits basically the height that it rides in. Like, this is fairly big. I could fit my head in there with, you know, I could probably fit two in there if I had to, but I'm not from Queensland, so I don't have two heads. Yeah, I guess I better get to work. So I've just paused the time lapse just to show you something really interesting that I learnt. Some brake pads, you'll see it there, have an out and an in, and this one specifically has an in right, whereas these other ones here have out and in left. So you always want to try and get them in the right spot. It's always handy. Not all brake pads have that, but yeah, some do, and get them in the right spot and they'll work the way they should. So these are the old brake pads that came out. I've just smashed out the other side without a time lapse. You don't need to see that twice. I think the roadworthy minimum is 3 to 4 mil. These probably have a little bit more than that, but changing them, you know, I'm not stressed about changing them. It's something that needs to happen. You always want to have good brakes, especially when four-wheel driving. Oh, just driving full stop, really. You don't want to be messing around with that sort of shit. Yeah, so they're all done, and yeah, it didn't pour any brake fluid out of the reservoir, so I'll probably check that, see if it's low when I bring it back down. And I guess we'll get onto these sway bar links. If you want a video on how to do brake pad replacement, like I did just time lapse it, but if you want something a bit more in detail, I guess leave a comment. I guess, I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing this shit. If anyone's interested, let me know and I'll find another car to do it on. I have 3 cars, so probably due for brakes at some point anyway. Yeah, so let me know and I can do one, I guess. I'm also going to grease these real quick while I've got the wheel off and while I can get to them. Okay, so I have a bit of a confession. I've never actually worked on one of these cars ever. When I bought this, I threw myself straight in the deep end. I got no idea about any of it or what's going on, but, you know, see what I can do. I'm a mechanic, so I can sort of figure it out. I reckon that these sway bar links are just one big bolt through, because there's obviously no thread hanging out there, and there is there. So I reckon if I undo that, that will just be a crush tube there. And I reckon the whole thing will come out as one bolt, and I'll just have to replace those bushes, the innards, and put it back together. I'll try and get a video of it while it's apart so you can see what I mean. Hopefully it is like that, because if it's not like that, I reckon it's going to be a bit of a pain. Wish me luck. Alright, so that's that driver's side in there. This is the passenger side out. So that there, that sits between the body, and that there sits between the sway bar. And that is, like I said, it's a crush tube style. So that'll keep that from, well, keep them from moving around once it's tightened down. And yeah, it's just one big bolt. If I undo that, you can see they all sort of they'll come off. Or you can see that they just a bolt. Now I've also got these rear shocks that I'm going to bolt in. Hopefully they're a bit shorter, just so it doesn't give it that droop, just so the springs don't fall out. That'd be nice. I'll get them in and see how I go. Well, I'm glad I didn't put them in, because this is the old one, these are the new ones. Obviously these are dirty as, but like I said, I was hoping to do it so the springs wouldn't drop out, so they needed to be shorter. They're actually longer, so they're not going to work. So I'm just going to have to throw these ones back in for now and order some shorter shocks, hopefully. So I've got this old second-hand Kenworth truck mud flap that I'm just going to turn into 2 mud flaps for the back of the car. All I've done here is I've marked from edge to edge, that was 61 centimetres. So I did 31 centimetre increments in dots. You can see the little dots there as I went along. Just did a few of them to get a straight line, so I can cut that down the middle. And then all I did with this one is I found where this crusty old edge was, and I sort of, that's about 13 centimetres from top to bottom, or from the line to the bottom. So all I did was I got the flattest part here and did the exact same thing, put dots along it, just where I'd like to cut it, all the way along, and then I just marked another straight line, and then that's exactly where I need to cut. I'm just going to use the angle grinder to cut it off and make it up to shape. Well, there they are. Didn't turn out too bad, probably could do with a bit of a wash. It sort of sticks to the whole idea of this being a real budget car. Like, I got these for free, so I'll put them on just on there just to make them a bit bigger. I might even stick them out a bit so they cover that tyre a bit more. Just depends on how I go, because I've got to get some flares to put around here, just because that tyre sticks out way too far. So I'll get those flares, put them on, and then I'll put those mud flaps on. And they're a bit bigger than what's on them now, and they should look alright. Alrighty, so that's all the work done for the day. I'll take it for just a quick drive up and down the court bowl. Just give it a little flex test, you know, show you guys what's going on with it. You know, it'd be rude not to after we did all that stuff on it. And yeah, I'll probably use that to end the video. If you like it, like and subscribe, and next time we might, that's my other car there, 1999 VTS pack. And then I've got my 1992, I think it is, VP executive wagon. That one's factory manual, V6. But yeah, I'll take this for a little wheel and then I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. That's not bad. Tucking pretty hard there. I mean, considering it's what's the word? Considering it's torsion bar front, and this wheel is, oh no, that's still touching. But yeah, that'll be stopping it there. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.